So tell me a little bit more about some of these sort of success stories that you have from students that have either benefited from your YouTube channel or from, some of, since you said you're a younger YouTuber, to maybe some more of the success stories you've had with some of your individual students.
Well, for me, I think some of the stories that stand out the most were like the student of mine that was in his 60s. So that's pretty old. And
Hmm.
after just doing some of like the vocal training, breathing exercises, different vocal exercises, he came back to tell me, he was just so thankful. As someone in their 60s, his concentration improved, his memory got better. And so I was like, just, so chuffed. Those kind of stories just warm my heart. So that was one. And another really prominent one that stood out in my mind was this student of mine that had asthma. So I'm not advocating for anyone to stop using their asthma pump or anything like this, but this
Okay.
particular student, he had such good results from doing the breathing and vocal exercises when he'd come in for his vocal training. Within a matter of a few weeks, he told me he no longer needs his asthma pump. So that was just like, wow. Most definitely, I think the work that you put in is what you're going to get out. And when you practice that much and, you're really building your lung capacity and that kind of thing with the kind of exercises that we do, these are the results that are possible. And then, just like in general, I'd say I've had like many students just discovering their own sort of vocal potential, their inner confidence. And they describe vocal training like when I've asked some students for testimonies, um, it was like I kept getting this, my life has changed kind of answer back. So I'm like, wow, really from vocal training. And it's true, because when you come in for vocal training, it's affecting other areas of your life, which, I didn't even realize when I started out in the beginning. But this is how I would be impacting people's lives. They're coming in for vocal training, but they're building confidence. They're working on their low self-esteem. They're seeing like, this is what I can actually achieve with my vocals. I can actually do this. I can actually, feel better. You stand up taller, posture exercises, all of these things that help your vocals. It actually ended up helping a lot of students. They've come back to tell me they're so encouraged. They're so much more confident. It's helped their relationships. It's, having that confidence to go out and ask someone out on a date kind of thing. It's like, really empowering. So those have been some of the best stories that I've gotten back, some
Gosh,
of the best feedback. And tell
I
me
love
about
that.
you.
Well, before I even get into myself, I gotta say, I love that. I think that you're right. So many people, we as professional musicians and singers and teachers, we are thinking about, these end products. How well can you make it for the performance or the audition or
Exactly.
the posting of your thing, whatever the end goal is. And what we don't realize for so many of these students is that they have their typical 9 to 5 life where they wake up, they do their job, they do their chores, and like most people barely have time for a hobby, let alone something that when they do invest into it, that they can actually pull out more than just pure entertainment for the time that they're doing it. Like they learn so many skills that are so transmutable to so many other parts of their lives, but most importantly, like they are so invested into this thing because they love to do it. And so many people forget that, oh my God, I love to sing. Back before singing was considered to just be only for the excellent, or only if I'm going to be on The Voice, or only if I'm going to be in
Exactly.
the show or have the
Mhm.
lead. It's like, no, singing feels good and is great. And to have so many people say like, I'm singing, it's releasing all these endorphins, it's opened up my mind, I can talk to my wife about so many things, I can, I feel just better. And even just talk about it, I'm getting chills just thinking about how wonderful singing is. And so many people, feel like, I'm not going to do it, but just those people investing in that, and of course working with a wonderful teacher who's helping them be better at this skill is just wonderful.
Makes such a
So I really love
difference.
that. Yeah. Now I also have asthma, and so I definitely take my inhaler regularly. But I love that idea of being able to find a way to breathe bigger, and just like you said, all these different technical skills and how they can improve our lives is wonderful. For me, I find different types of students. I get different benefits from. Obviously, like working with the super high level professionals who are already doing the thing is very cool. It's fun. You work with them. They usually don't need much work. You know, you kind of just really are more finessing some things to improve their performances or auditions, and it's super rewarding and very enjoyable. But some more specific, you know, general types of students is always like like I said, the ex singer who fell out of love with it because they were just grinding at the career, and then they go off and do something else. They're like, I can't focus this. It's draining me. It's doing the opposite of what we were just talking about, of all the joys and benefits of singing. And so they go off and they do something else, and then they come back to it later in life, and they're like, oh my God, I forgot that I love this. The person that is able to get back into it and
Yeah, their love for
rediscover that
singing.
passion and find the joy in it again. And even those who then just like work at like their community theater or just do some things for themselves or do an open mic night, things like that, from these singers who are so good, such amazing singers, such emotionally open and available singers, who are then able through these sessions to rediscover themselves and rediscover their joy and their connection to music. Those are always the best wins for me. I also love the high school students who come in with absolutely no confidence, like you said, and they're able to, you know, discover the confidence in themselves as humans, as well as, of course, the ones who feel like they're not good singers, and then they find themselves getting accepted into these amazing college musical theater programs or singing programs or booking these shows and things. Those always are nice. Or you know, the singers who are stuck in their, like I said, the sort of side jobs. They're like stuck in a rut waiting tables at night every night, or working this like, you know, weird office job that they just hate, and then all of a sudden they like book that next big thing in their career, and they're like, I did it, I'm going off on a 9-month tour, and it's like, congratulations. And like just the joy of the big explosion of those types of things is always a fun thing as well. But like I said, it's like different strokes for different folks. You get so many interesting types of people who are who, you know, wherever you are in your life, like everybody that I think that every student that has come into my studio has benefited and found themselves growing as people and just finding just general improvement in their lives and in their careers, whether they're musical or not. It's always such a wonderfully rewarding experience, which is why I agree with you. Like being able to be a voice
Absolutely.
teacher, it's an unexpected and yet so powerful, impactful experience on their lives, and it's so rewarding. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, like, you know, it's so, that's why I say it just like warms my heart, gives me all the fuzzies, like when someone comes back and, you know, tells you something like that. So, so well done. I don't doubt, you know, your students, I mean, having an awesome coach like you. Let's go on to our
Like,
next question.
sure.